Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Fully Tilted. It's been a while since we've been on here. Honestly, we just haven't been filming, so it's kind of nice to be back. And yeah, so in the past we've looked at only control decks and arenas best of one, but now we're going to be switching it up. And mainly it's because control decks in arena right now are a little, or actually in standard, are a little stagnant. Your best control deck's probably Esper, and honestly, it's kind of boring to play, and I don't think anybody wants to watch a half an hour single game where we do nothing. So with that in mind, we're going to be switching it up and playing more than just control decks and taking a look at mid-range, aggro, control, combo, tempo, you name it. Anything is on the table, so if there's anything you guys want to see, definitely make sure you reach out and let us know. But let's jump right in and take a look at the deck that we're going to be taking a look at today, and that is a Rakdos Spectacle deck. So Rakdos has been kind of floating around ever since the advent of Ravnica Allegiance. We've seen Rakdos Burn, Rakdos Aggro, Rakdos Midrange. So this is kind of a half and half deck, right? So we're going to play this in best of one today. It is a Rakdos Spectacle deck. It does act as aggro, but does have some legs in the mid-range. So let's take a look at some of our card choices, right? We've got Gutter Bones. Great card, great aggro card. It does enter the field tapped, but it is easy to recur with this deck. So it's a 2-1 for 1, which is pretty awesome. Footlight Fiend is great. It's a 1-1 that deals 1 to any target when it is killed. The thing with Footlight Fiend is either way, you're going to get damage in. So either you're going to attack and your opponent's not going to block and you're going to get in 1. Or your opponent's going to block, Footlight Fiend dies, and at which point you still get in for 1 damage. Super easy to activate Spectacle with this. Next up, we have Rick's Mighty Reveler, who is a colorless and red for a 2-2, and it's great for filtering, right? One of the things that a lot of red and black decks kind of falter with is card draw, and so this card allows you to discard your hand for Spectacle, or if you have nothing in your hand, draw all new cards, which is fantastic. Fireblade Artist, which is a great haster, 2-2 for 2. Not only that, but we can sack creatures at the beginning of our turn, so maybe sack a Footlight Fiend or a Gutter Bones and deal 2 damage to our opponent, or a Planeswalker. So not only that, but with Footlight Fiend, we also deal an additional damage if Footlight Fiend dies. 3 cast down to interact with our opponent. We have 3 Midnight Reaper for additional card draw. Since we are going to be sacking things and we're okay with our things dying, we want to make sure that we get our benefit out of that. We're also playing Judith. Judith is great to add a +1/+0 to all of our creatures. And then whenever a non-token creature dies, if it's sacked to something like a Fireblade Artist or Footlight Fiend because it attacked in and it was blocked, we get to ping our opponent for an additional damage. Not only that, but if we have Midnight Reaper on the field, we get to draw cards as well. We're playing 3 Drill Bit. Drill Bit is a card that I have loved since the beginning of Ravnica Allegiance, but I've never been able to find a home for it. One of my favorite cards in the past was Thoughtseize, and this is very similar to Thoughtseize if you can trigger it. Thoughtseize is great because you can usually cast it on turn 1. However, with this deck, it's super easy to cast Drill Bit on turn 2, so keep that in mind. For even more card draw, we're looking at right up the stage. I mean, draw 2 for a single red is broken in most formats. This one is no different. We're also running 4 skew with the critics. Which is, even though it's sorcery speed, a great removal or just damage to the face spell. And again, we're looking at engaging as much Spectacle as possible, dealing as much damage to our opponent, so that fits right in. And then to give us some legs into the late game, we've got 4 Spawn of Mayhem. A lot of times we cast this for 3. So it's a 4/4 Flying Trample for 3 that deals 1 damage to our opponent every turn. I'd say that's pretty good. We're running our basic lands, right? 4 Dragon Skull Summits, 4 Blood Crypts. We are only running, is it 20 or 21? Hold on. Sorry. Right, so we're only running 20 lands. We do have a lot of card draw and a lot of filtering, so it does kind of help with that. So yeah, that's the deck. We're going to go take it into some best of one and see how it does. So I did play this deck a little bit earlier today in some practice runs to see how it worked and how it handled, and it's actually a lot of fun to play. So we're going to be playing Notch, or Not of the Coast, I guess. So we go first. Unfortunately, we do only have 1 land. We have to mulligan this hand. That's not gonna be plausible. This is a much better hand. Do we want Rick's Mahdi? Give us a 2-drop that we can filter. Or do we need the land? We kind of need the land, but I feel like we'll be able to pull it with the other cards, so we'll keep Rick's on top. We'll pay the 2 life and drop Gutter Bones. And pass the turn. See what our opponent's playing with. I just hope this is blue. Terramander, so probably mono blue tempo, or is it Drake's? Not super great either way, but let's see what happens. So we'll attack him with Gutter Bones. Alright, so we did activate Spectacle, which means that we can light up the stage. So I think we're going to do that. Get the card draw, hopefully get another land. And we didn't get the land, which is unfortunate, but we did get a Judith. So we're going to see what happens next turn. If this is mono blue, it might just be like a no-go at this point. Yeah, looking like mono blue. Alright. And we're still starved for land. Not ideal. So let's attack in. We're going to lose this Judith, which is really sad. Do they take the block? They take it. Seems a little odd. Do we cast down, or do we just get Gutter Bone? Well, we can't get Gutter Bones back. We could Rick's Mighty Reveler. Drop, what, a Spawn? What do we do? What do we do? Or do we cast down? I don't think it's worth casting down the Terramander. So let's get back. Let's play Rick's. Looks like they have some form of counter or instant speed, so it's maybe an Opt or a Spell Pierce. And so we'll drop one of the Spawn of Mayhems and get a Midnight Reaper. You know, in practice, this deck never got land screwed, and of course now that I'm recording, that's all that happens. And there's another one. All right, so let's play Flame Blade, although I don't think this hits the field. Nope, it does. I'm surprised. Attack in for 4. Our opponent doesn't seem to be drawing much either, which is good. But this whole, like, not being able to draw lands is really hurting us. I don't think it's worth sacking just yet. Man, that's rough. Alright, well, let's attack in. They're going to double block the Flame Blade. That's fine. Dive down. Dive down. Alright, so do we get Gutter Bones back? Do we Drill Bit? We could Skewer the Mistcloak and then Drill Bit. Yeah, let's do that. See what they're working with. Draw out any counter spells like that one. And then we'll Skewer the Mistcloaked Herald. Do they have another Spell Pierce? They do. They were just sitting on all counters. Wow. Look at that. Alright then. So I think at this point, it's pretty much game. I mean, we've literally survived this long on 2 lands, which is a little surprising. Oh, hey, we got another land. Yeah. Fortunately, we're going to have to pay. We want the Spawn of Mayhem. And we're not going to get it. So we'll go Midnight Reaper instead. Chances are we end up killing ourselves this game. Tempest Djinn. Siren Storm Tamer, which means they now have protection. So, yep. That's game. Alright. So be it. No biggie. It's okay. I mean, Mono Blue is like tier 1. And when I say tier 1, I mean like tier 0 actually. So let's try this again. I'm going to run it again. See what happens. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we got land screwed. And it's unfortunate, but that's what happens in best of 1. So take it for what it is. Mono Blue is a pain to deal with. So we go first. We've got 2 lands, not ideal. We'd like 3, but I don't think... If we can draw another land, this is an awesome hand, so we're going to keep it. It's always nice to start with Gutter Bones. You know, he does enter the battlefield tapped, which isn't ideal, but he does present a lot of damage and recurable, which is nice. Alright, so this is an interesting play because we can Drill Bit turn 2, or we can Rick's Mighty Reveler. And I think I honestly want to Drill Bit, to be honest. See what we're playing against. And I don't need the filtering for Rick's just yet. I mean, I could drop the other Reveler. Okay. So what do we have problems with? Gross Chamber Guardian isn't that big of a deal. We have ways to remove it. Crawl Harpooner is... Oh, and our opponent just scooped it up. Okay. That was interesting. Well, let's try again. Maybe one of these days we'll actually get like a full-on match. That'd be nice. Well, I guess the mono blue is a full-on match, but... Cerberus Coco. So we go first. We've got a Footlight Fiend at Gutter Bones, a Drill Bit, a Light Up the Stage, and a Midnight Reaper. This is an amazing starting hand. So, and I think we go Footlight Fiend. We're going to go Footlight Fiend into Gutter Bones and either Drill Bit or Light Up the Stage. And we're going to do Footlight Fiend first because if they drop a blocker, we can at least enable Spectacle on turn 2 no matter what. Whereas with Gutter Bones, that isn't always the case. Alright, so let's attack him with Footlight Fiend. So we can Drill Bit, Light Up the Stage, or we can Gutter Bones, Light Up the Stage. Let's Drill Bit, Light Up the Stage. What are we playing against? Ooh, we're playing against Bant. So Carnage Tyrant's definitely a problem, but he's not a problem yet. Tithe Taker, not really a problem. Absorb, not ideal. Growth Spile's fine. You know what? Let's get rid of... Hopefully we can kill them before they land Tyrant. I have no way of dealing with Carnage Tyrant. Let's get rid of Carnage Tyrant. Okay, so we got a Judith. So all we need is one more land, which would be really nice at this point. We would lose the other Light Up the Stage. So they're going to main phase Growth Spiral, drop another land, ramp up. And we didn't get the other land. Of course we didn't. Why would we at this point, right? So let's attack in. And so at this point, I think we Gutter Bones and do the other Light Up the Stage, hopefully drawing a land. There's the land. That can enter tapped. So we're going to lose that Judith, which is kind of sad, but it's okay. We needed the land. And they pass the turn, so we know they have absorbed. So we're going to attack in first. We're going to try to draw out one of their absorbs. I don't think... They shouldn't really absorb that, to be honest. So the question is, do we play the Midnight Reaper and let it get absorbed? I don't think so. I don't think that's the right call. And I don't really want to... I mean, we could Rick's discard Gutter Bones. Well, yeah, let's do that. Not Spectacle cost, but... Do they absorb that? They do. Okay. So that's good, right? So we drew it out either way. They did gain 2 life off of it, which is a little unfortunate. But we can play the other Gutter Bones. And now, you know, they don't have double white, so they can't Cleansing Nova. They may have a Settle the Wreckage, which we'll have to play around if they drop another white source. They didn't, so we're good there. Teferi, all right. He's only going to be able to untap for 2, so unless they have Essence Scatter or Quench, I'm not too worried about it. We should be able to take him out. So let's Midnight Reaper. Yep. Then we're going to attack. So 1, 2, 3, and then to the face. that should be good. Teferi dies. Fantastic. They're down to 16. They've got plenty of land and cards in hand. We have nothing, so we're on top deck mode, which is unfortunate. But if they start killing our things, then it's better because we have Midnight Reaper on the field. So a Krasis. Kind of a sad Krasis, to be honest. Okay, Spawn of Mayhem's good. So we'll keep Midnight Reaper back. We'll see if they block anything. If they do, it's fine. Yep, so that's great. So let's draw a card. What do we draw? What do we draw? Ooh, a Judith. Alright, so we can Spawn of Mayhem and get Gutter Bones back, which I think is a better play because I don't know if Judith survives. So let's Spawn of Mayhem, and we'll bring Gutter Bones back to our hand. And then next turn we can Judith and Gutter Bones and attack for a ton of damage. Wilderness Reclamation, that's fine. Tithe Taker, that's fine. And our opponent scoops. So, I mean, they didn't really have much game against us at that point. The best thing that they would have had was like a sweeper, but... So that's really how that deck is more supposed to function. And let's go again. Yeah, so I mean, when we start drawing stuff like Gutter Bones and Midnight Reaper... And honestly, Spawn of Mayhem is really what gives this deck legs. You know, at that point, we kind of have a great board state. So our opponent goes first. Unfortunately, this deck does not do as well when our opponent goes first, and we have no early plays, and we only have 2 lands. So we're going to mulligan this hand, try to get a more aggressive start. This deck does want to be aggressive at the end of the day. So we do kind of want 1-drops, which is why I'm not even sure Drill Bit belongs in this deck. I might drop it for something like Vicious Conquistador or Fanatical Firebrand. Vicious Conquistador works great with activating Spectacle. Because when you attack in with it, it doesn't matter whether it's blocked or not. It still triggers for 1 damage. So, alright, so let's mulligan. This is an even worse hand. But I'm not going down to 5. So hopefully we can... Oh, that's unfortunate. Another shock land. Alright. Enters tap because we have nothing to do with it. Blue-white, so control or wet aggro. Okay, they played nothing. So at this point, right, we can Rix. I think Fireblade Artist is our best bet. So we'll pay the 2, go in for the Fireblade Artist, and go attacking in. Oh, okay. Tap target creature and draw. Alright, so obviously we have to decline. I'm not going to sack itself. And again, not another land, so let's attack in. And then we're going to drop Rix. Okay. So definitely a straight up like Azorius control deck, which is going to be a pain because we had a slow start, which is unfortunate. So we're going to Rix, drop the other Rix Mahdi. Get the... Oh, there's the land. Drop the Footlight Fiend. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, people. Now we are getting somewhere. So Cast Down's pretty much probably going to be a dead card. I can't see it being really good against them in any way. So they do have 2 white, so we're going to have to check for a Settle the Wreckage. And then when they get up to it, right, next turn, we're going to have to watch out for... Cleansing Nova. So with that in mind, we're going to drop Midnight Reaper, which they'll probably counter with an Absorb. Oh, they didn't. Okay. They definitely have instant speed something. So they can settle, that's fine. Right? They're only removing 2 of our creatures. They might have another Seal Away. Honestly, this deck has tons of instant speed stuff that they could be doing, that they could be hovering over right now. I think they're just trying to decide what to do. Anytime now. Deploy, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Kill my Rix Madi. Get me a card. I'm down. Alright, and we're going to actually skewer the critics here. Again, I don't really feel like they're going to have many creatures for us to damage, so skewer the critics isn't going to do much as far as removing things from the board. Precognitive Perception main phase. They're digging for something. I mean, I'd expect to see Teferi eventually. Scry 2 to the bottom, draw 3. Our turn. Okay, now we're flooding out, which isn't ideal, but at least we'll get in for 4. And pass the turn. Yeah, so if we draw another Rix or something like that, we can definitely discard Cast Down, because I don't feel like it's going to be very important this game. There's Teferi. See? Told you it was going to happen. Now, unless we draw a Flameblade Artist, the unfortunate part is we're not going to be able to kill him next turn. Which is kind of sad, and we didn't, because once again, we flooded out. See, first couple games, can't draw a land, now we draw too many. And they might have a Seal Away, so this is not ideal by any means. Nope, they don't, but he goes down to 1. We'll pass the turn. The problem is now they have Settle, they have Cleansing Nova. They can drop another land and then they'll be able to untap for Absorb with Teferi. Isn't he a great card to play against? So much fun. Yep, there's the Seal Away. What are they going to target? Midnight Reaper? So we're going to cast down our own Midnight Reaper just so we can draw a card. Yes, we're sure. If they choose to, I guess, counter our cast down, that's fine. Again, we don't really have any other use for cast down, so might as well do it, draw ourselves a card. And another cast down. Not ideal. Dovin. It's like a Zoria Super Friends deck. Let's cast down this little dude. That way they have no blockers. They didn't end up dropping the other land, which I'm interested in. I'm curious what happened there. The problem is we just don't have enough pressure now. Right? Like, we're not going to be able to apply enough pressure to both of these planeswalkers plus their life total. In order, like, we just didn't get a fast enough start. See, so it's just they kind of are going to outgrind us at this point. They have better card advantage and better long game than we do. So, I mean, unless we draw something super spectacular that they don't counter next turn, which I don't see happening, yeah, we're going to probably concede this game real quick. Law Mage's Binding? Can't attack, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Huh. Yeah, Gutter Bones just isn't going to do it. I don't feel like playing this game anymore. You guys don't want to see us kind of twiddle our thumbs while they basically just deny us of playing anything. So, we're going to try this again. We go into another match. Play maybe 1, maybe 2 more, depending upon how fast they go. Alright, so we go first. We drew 2 reds and Gutter Bones. We're going to have to mulligan this. This is a much better hand. Much, much better. As much as I love Spawn of Mayhem, we already have 1 in hand and we need more land, so pay 2 life for that, play Footlight Fiend, and pass the turn. Planewalker Yuan. Drops a blue. Siren Stormtamer. So mono blue tempo. Alright, so we drop the Flame Blade. See if they take the block. I doubt they'll take it. Doesn't seem like a smart move on their part, but who knows? Nope, they take it, okay. Still ping them for 1. And that's why Footlight Fiend is so good, because even when they block, it still pings them for the damage that we would have put through Ravnica. Sorry, dog was barking. Alright, another Flame Blade artist. Since all we can do next is Drill Bit, or do we go in for 4? I feel like they might have Essence Capture, but that's fine. Let's see. So they have something instant speed. Opt, maybe? Trickster, okay. So we can still attack in for 2. See if they take the trade. They probably will. Yep. That's fine. Pass the turn. Temptation. Opt. They're digging. They obviously liked what they found because they kept it on top. Alright. Decline. Oh, and our opponent scoops. Alright, well, not too bad. They obviously weren't drawing very well. Honestly, we weren't either. The more I play this deck, the more, I don't know, maybe we go up to 21 lands. I just feel like at that point we're going to flood too much, but we've gotten land screwed too many times this video, so I am not okay with that. Alright, so we're going first. It's a pretty decent hand. We've got our colors that we need. Nothing comes in tapped. We've got some removal depending upon what we're playing against. We've got some way of filtering if we draw too many lands. So yeah, let's go with it. So, Swamp, Footlight Fiend, Dragon Skull Summit, Fireblade Artist. That's what we're looking at for our next turn. Is it good or is it not? So, right, Steam Vent, so we're looking at probably is it Drakes or is it Phoenix? Alright, so Grixis Control, Grixis Dragons. Shock to kill the Flame Blade Artist, which is fine because, oh wait, we have another one. So a cool thing about Rick's Mighty Reveler, right? So when you cast it, discard a card, then draw a card. Now, if you have no cards in hand, there's nothing to discard, and all you do is draw a card. So if you have no cards in hand, it's a 2/2 for 2, draw a card, which is a great deal. So keep that in mind. Killed our Flame Blade Artist again. Oh, and Lava Coil the Footlight Fiend. Smart. So because it was exiled, we don't get to ping for the 1 damage. Unfortunate. Alright, well. Yep. Enters tapped. We'll play Rick's Mighty. We'll discard the other Swamp, because we don't really need it. I do feel like they're going to be playing creatures. Gutter Bones, drop it. Sweet. Now, we do know they have Lava Coils, so Gutter Bones does not like Lava Coil, but if they're going to waste a Lava Coil on a Gutter Bones and not on a Spawn of Mayhem, I'm okay with it, to be honest. Nicol Bolas. So it's unfortunate because we're going to drop our last cast down, which doesn't target him anyway, so I'm okay with it, but we'll go attacking in. You could block the Rick's Mighty, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. Basically doing it to get the 2 damage in anyway. And we'll drop Gutter Bones. See, and here's where we lack card draw, right? At this point, we're like, we wish we had a Light Up the Stage or a Midnight Reaper on the field because or another Rick's Mighty Reveler. Oh, Gutter Bones does not like that. Are you going to keep it back? Nope, he's going to swing in for 4. Okay. So, cast out. So unfortunately, Cast Down does nothing against Nicol Bolas. So we're just going to take... So unfortunately, we're just going to have to go swinging in. And end the turn. It is what it is. Until we start drawing some pressure, unfortunately, it's just not going to be good. I was going to say, do they have another lava coil? Drew all 3 lava coils. So unfortunately, their clock is definitely faster than ours right now. Okay, Spawn of Mayhem's good. So while we can definitely cast Spawn of Mayhem now, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference, what we're going to do, we're going to activate Spectacle just to always be as mana efficient as possible. Do they run counters? Looks like they do. Yep. Wow. All right. That's unfortunate. So it looks like this game's going to be over. Looks like our opponents just drew better, and yeah. Yeah, Footlight Fiend's not going to do it. We will go swinging in. Right, I mean, realistically thinking about it, and they have another counter, when you're playing an aggro style deck and your opponent is playing mid-range, it's kind of Fiery Cannonade. Okay. It's kind of like the bane of aggro, right? Because the whole point is that mid-range just kind of outgrinds aggro. So, yeah, that's the problem. Yep, and we just flooded out, so that's game. I would like to end on a good note, so maybe we can get one more game in, see what happens. As always, this deck did so much better in testing this morning, but what are you going to do? Probably some misplays I've done, to be honest, but it is what it is. And the dog barking in the background does not help, and I apologize for that. It's one of the reasons why we actually haven't recorded a video in a while, because we got a new dog back in the end of last year, and he's just been taking up a lot of our time. Alright, our opponent goes first, which is never great, but we do have a Swamp into a Dragon Skull Summit. Gutter Bones, we draw another land. Judith, Light Up the Stage. So it's a good hand if we draw another land. So I'm not going to mulligan this. We're going to keep this hand. Mono red. Mono red. Let's see who aggro's better. They could shock the Gutter Bones, then shock the face, get in for 4. It looks like they're just going to go swinging in. All right. Well, still not another land. Not great. So let's swing in. Then we'll light up the stage. So one of the things about light up the stage is if you want to cast Light Up the Stage, it's always probably better to wait to even drop land, right? Because you don't want to miss land. Oh. Alright, well, we don't have much of a choice at this point because I definitely missed that part. right? And so, like, let's say we draw a Gutter Bones now. I'd rather play the Gutter Bones I get from Light Up the Stage than the Gutter Bones in my hand, or a Footlight Fiend, because we're going to lose it next turn anyway. So you always want to play, you always want to light up the stage and then play anything in the hand that you pull from Light Up the Stage, if you can, over things in your normal hand that aren't going to disappear. Come on, opponent. They have priority, so they obviously have shock. Are they just going to rope us because we're playing a similar deck? Did our internet go out? I don't think so. No. Our internet looks good. Alright. So see, point in case. I'm going to play this Gutter Bones instead of the one in my hand so I don't lose this one next turn. And no matter what I draw next turn, even if it is a land, I'm playing the Swamp that I just pulled from Light Up the Stage. Nothing else. So we can at least play Judith next turn, which is great. Go swinging in. And it literally looks like our opponent is roping us, or they disconnected. Which is always unfortunate. That's not how you want to win games. So we're just going to hang out, see what happens. I highly doubt they're intentionally roping us. Alright, well, that's going to be game. Oh, okay. Oh. Swamp. Judith. And here we go again. Yeah, this is unfortunate, right? Our opponent disconnected, and this is how we're gonna win. You always want to like actually play Magic. That's why it always like it sucks when you get land screwed or you flood, right? Or you have to mulligan down to like 4 because they're just like not games at that point. You don't play Magic, so it is unfortunate. Unfortunately, and the great thing is we had a great hand, so of course we don't get to really play this match out because. Why would we? It's alright. It is what it is. Alright, well, alright, looks like our opponent disconnected, so we take the victory. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck real quick. You guys got to see it a little bit in action. You know, would I change it up? Again, I think maybe drop Drill Bit for something like Vicious Conquistador or Fanatical Firebrand. Maybe go down 2 to 2 cast downs and 4 Fanatical Firebrand or something. I do want to try to get another land in here maybe, so maybe another Midnight Reaper down. So if we did something like this. And we went there, and we went there, and we went... Probably could go one more. I think we're good on color. Oh, no, we definitely have to go up another mountain because we added Fanatical Firebrand. Right, so we need, what, like 14 sources of red? And we've now got 4, 8, 12. So maybe we go Vicious instead. Right, because it's black. So it's a better 1-drop for our mana base. Probably something like that, right? If I were to rerun this, probably run it like that. Yeah. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know we didn't get to see a ton of matches with it or play out a lot of fun games with it. So if you guys want to see this deck again in its new revised form, definitely let me know. Leave a comment in the section below. If you like the deck, let me know. Or let me know what you guys want to see next. Thanks so much. Take it easy, guys, and I'll catch you next time.